What I want to share is that my deepest learning experiences have always been those that triggered my emotions, the ones who touched my soul. And after realizing that, I knew that's what I wanted to achieve with all of my students, or at least try to do it. Because when I would be able to touch their soul, to make them feel something, and I know that feeling, that emotion would be coupled to the things we were doing in class, and the memory would be so much stronger. I don't really like topics such as languages or math or history. It feels so confined and so rigid, and it's just not how my mind works. Um, what I do like is, for example, I give you a plant or we look at the tree and then we try to describe or analyze it on a physical level, a biological level, mathematical level, and I think it gives you a much more comprehensive view of the topic you try to study. My most interesting teaching experience by far was my time in the Jewish community in Antwerp. Um, yeah, I will never forget that. I was a science teacher there, and it was brilliant and crazy and amazing. I graduated as a master's in physical education and sports. So there was a time that I've been teaching people how to become a coach or work with athletes or teams and train them on a physical and a mental level. Also really cool. After a while, you become very skilled in navigating other people's expectations, or you just feel what they want and what they expect, and you ignore your own expectations. And it's very difficult, and it's not touched in classical education. Like, how do we manage expectations of others compared to those of ourselves? I mean, in a way, you are the best teacher you can have or could ever imagine, because you know what you want to learn and you know what you need for it. And it's a super interesting process to discover what those things are, and how you can get there and what you have to do to unlock this potential inside you. What I really love are groups of people. I've been involved in so many groups and teams since I was a child, as a team member, as a player, and later on as a teacher or a coach. And it's so interesting to see what happens when people join forces and come together in order to achieve a certain goal or embark on a process. Because when that happens, when people come together and when we get their faces or their noses in the same direction, um, magical things can happen. And a challenge is to be as much of yourself as possible within the group, because the group will benefit from you being yourself. Um, Groups are magic, groups create magic, and yeah, that's I think that's one of the most beautiful things to experience.